Hi, this is Tiffany Coulter with the Balanced Life podcast, and today I am focusing on everything I think I've been doing the wrong the last couple weeks. Maybe you can relate. Actually, that's not the truth, but I I try to make this podcast about sharing my wins and my losses, the things I do right and the things I do wrong. And this last week or so, I've really been reevaluating the way I go at business development, and I realize I've done an awful lot of stuff wrong lately, and I kind of wanted to share it with you. I don't have all the answers to it, but maybe you can relate to a few of the things, and maybe a couple of the solutions that I found for myself will be helpful. So, the first thing that I realized again is if you want income, you need to focus. And I am a person that is always full of ideas. Like, I'm never at a loss for ideas. That's pretty obvious since I have the Balanced Life and its website and podcasts and channel, and I have Decision Tree Learning, and I have Writing Career Coach, and all of them have their own social medias, which right now are not doing amazing. That's one of the things I'm missing. And all of them have their own books, and all of them have their own everything. It's just a lot of stuff. And I realized that I am doing like the shiny object chaser. With each of these ideas I get, I go, wow, you know what? This thing could really help teachers or homeschool parents. I should do that. Oh, but it also works with the balanced life because trying to keep life in balance but it's about writing things. So we could add it to writing career coach. So let's do this. And I go after all these different avenues. It's like an octopus with all these legs running all these different directions from a central idea. And I start chasing each one down, and I hire people and they come in and I do the same thing with them. And they're like, she's got too much she's throwing at me. And I just keep starting things, but I'm not finishing things. Or if I finish something, I'm already half to three-fourths the way through 5 other things. So there's never a sense of completion or accomplishment. I'm just constantly behind, and I'm constantly saying, well, when this project is done, I'll have time to do something else. And what really happened to me was I was at church, 2 weeks ago, was it was at service of all things, church service. We were talking about, well, it doesn't matter what we're talking about, but I was looking at focusing on something. So like it was our church service. So we were talking about focusing on faith and growing to be more Christ-like. And so what that looks like. And I started thinking about the kind of person that I am, not like, am I a good person, a bad person, am I Christ-like, or what? I was more like, what kind of a business owner and person, what does my life look like? Do I like my life? And that got me going down the road of thinking about the shiny object and how I just keep running after all these different ideas instead of just stopping and enjoying where I'm at in the moment. Do you ever do that? Do you just feel like you're running and you keep thinking, I'll be happy when this next thing happens, or I'll slow down? I mean, I'm happy. I like my life. I have a great husband. I have good kids. I have, my kids are all grown. They're not really kids. But I like my life, but I keep packing it so full and I get so busy. I feel like I'm always stressed, and I don't have to be. At this point in my life, I don't have to be stressed anymore. I'm doing this because I love it. But because I love it, I'm doing so much that I hate it. Do you understand? So then this last week we went into service. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, for air on Thursday. And this past Sunday, the pastor was talking again. We were continuing through, I want to say it was Ephesians. Ephesians 4, that's what it is. I have the notes downstairs. I didn't bring them up with me, so that's why I don't remember. It was very meaningful. But one thing he said that was just kind of a sidebar was, people talk about, I'll be generous when this thing happens. And it's a common thing we've heard people say, oh, if I won the lottery, I'd give so much money. And he says, no, money or success, not just money, but success just makes you more of what you already are. So money makes you more of what you already are. If you're already generous, you'll be even more generous. If you're already selfish, you'll be even more selfish. If you overspend all the time, you'll just overspend on more things. And although he was talking about finances and personality, what I realized and why it's relevant to what we're talking about today on the Balanced Life podcast is I realized that getting to a place where financially I could afford to grow this business and help people the way I really always wanted to. Those opportunities, the extra money just made me more of what I already was. I was a person that started things and chased things and liked shiny objects, but did not complete them. I didn't take them to their end because I had so many ideas. Now listen to me here. I have like 30 books outlined right now at this exact moment. I have 2 books that are like the final cover. They're going to be coming out. Let me see. Today's October 16th. When I'm recording this, they'll be coming out. We're getting the proofs next week. And so it'll be like the beginning of November because we have to go through the proofs and make sure everything is awesome and great and wonderful. And that takes about a week to get those here. Once we approve them, we're doing the first order run. So by the beginning of November, those 2 books will be out. And we already have 2 books that are about halfway completed. And then I've got a book that I just released in June. And I've got 4 more books that I'm actively working on. And I've got some of my older titles that I'm re-releasing. I was trying to do that right before this podcast. But do you hear all these things I'm doing? On top of the podcasts and the blogs and the newsletters and the social media and the YouTube channels and the courses that I just am releasing today on decision tree learning and all these other things. I got all this stuff happening. And even over at Decision Tree, my courses, I've decided I'm going to release them like at a real big discount at the beginning. It's like half off. And then on December 1st, when I upload a few more of the videos, I'm going to increase the price to 75%. And then when I upload the last of them, it'll be full retail. Well, it's really great for people who want to get a discount. But the reason I'm doing that is because I have so many things happening at once. I have to just release all these different courses a little bit at a time so that I can start to get them out, because I have 8 courses just for the one channel, Decision Tree Learning, just that channel that are releasing right now. I still have like 2 or 3 for Writing Career Coach, and I have 3 for the Balanced Life on top of everything else. So unless I do it a little bit at a time and offer that discount to people so that, I can let people, it could be next year before I even release my courses, and I need to get them out there. Maybe you can relate to some of this, or maybe I'm just like complaining and rambling to a microphone by myself. But I feel like there's other people like me who are out there, and as they get more and more successful, or as they start to delegate tasks out to someone, they're wondering why their life is still feeling completely chaotic. And I think this is what it is. Because as we get successful, if we have not worked on ourselves, we will just continue to be in front of more and more people doing the same wrong things. So this is what I did. All that was lead up. This will be really quick. I am not a person that cusses. If you're around me at all, you know that I just don't cuss. But I said to myself, calm the F down. And I said the word F, not the bad word. Some of you may laugh at that, but I hate foul language. But that was how dramatic it was for me. I said that to myself, and I have said that to myself probably 5 times a day since Sunday. And like I said, today's Wednesday afternoon. And the reason I said it like that to myself is not just, okay, let's refocus. Okay, I wanted it to be like, Tiff, you need to stop. Stop where you are. Finish the things you have before you start anything else. And I did pretty good, except for today I tried to upload a couple books because I was like, this will take no time at all. Well, that's not how it goes, because the covers that I printed 12 years ago when I first released the books, for some reason have magically gained 0.2 inches all the way around, and the printer won't print them now. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But I sat down, and it has taken me 2.5 days, and I've had to find a cover designer to help me to get these 2 books finally done, and to get the courses, the creative writing courses for Decision Tree Learning. I've got like a bunch of different grades, and then I'm also working on some for special ed for kids with communication delays. And then I'm also creating an entrepreneurship, like very beginning, like if somebody's like thinking about being an entrepreneur, starting their own business, I'm starting a course on that and a homeschooling course. Um, and I also have some special ed, like I said, things that I'm building in there too. I had all those things that I've been running and working on since like the last week of July, first week of August. And I'm like, it's been 10 weeks. We're just going to finish some of these things and put them out there and be done and then get caught up so we can do our socials and get all of our stuff out there. So if you're looking at a big pile of, oh my goodness, and you feel like you are running constantly and never getting anything done, you feel like you're just stressed and overwhelmed, I would caution you to look at what you're doing and what you're taking on. First of all, don't take on things just because you can and know how to. This is like a huge thing that I do wrong. It's like somebody says, oh, hey, we're working on this thing. Well, let me tell you how to write a book. And 4 hours later, I'm talking to them and I'm volunteering to help them write the book like for no money, which means I can't do my other work and I have to hire somebody to help me. So I'm actually losing money at that point because I have to pay the help more than I'm earning off of this project that I was just doing to help. Or I have, I'd like to volunteer at this because I'm really good at doing this thing, or I really like to teach this topic. Well, yeah, that's great, but think about all the prep work. And whatever your industry is, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad who feels like they need to volunteer for everything at their kid's school, or you're a homeschooling parent and you feel like you need to have all these perfect things. We just need to stop trying to be Pinterest people, and just finish what we start. And I truly think that my smartphone and email was the first thing that got me. I would like constantly check because prior to that, when I was in college, and this dates me, I was in college in the early 90s, we had mail. And I was obsessed with what was going to come in the mail that day. And I would sit there. I lived in one of those apartments that had like a security thing where you could listen, people would buzz to get in. Well, it was right next to the mailboxes. So I would push that button because I could hear if the mailman was by the boxes because he came a certain time each day. And I would listen for the noise of him being up at the mailboxes. And then I'd leave my apartment and go upstairs to where the mailboxes were. I'd get the mail, have my moment, satisfaction of what did or did not come in the mail, deal with what was in the mail, and then I'd proceed with the rest of my day. And I am convinced that if I had had email when I was in college, because it was just starting the last couple years that I was in college, I think I would have not graduated college. And I am being completely serious because ever since I got email, my life has spiraled down into a black hole. So what is it that you are allowing to constantly interrupt and pull you? And I don't mean even interrupt. I'm not talking about a game or something. I'm saying, do you have a bunch of ideas? Do you have aspirations? Do you have an unhealthy image of yourself and what you should be able to accomplish where you're not getting anything else done? The reason my husband can come home from work and do more housework and accomplish more things in 20 minutes when he gets home than I can do an entire day is because all day long as I walk through the house, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I saw that. I should go check and see about buying that thing online and see if I can find a sale. And for 2 hours, I'm searching online for the cheapest price. Whereas my husband goes, I need to buy that thing. And he goes and he buys it. And he may spend $3 more than I did, but he got it done in 20 minutes and it took me 2 hours and I didn't even get it ordered. That kind of thing. So I hope that you got something out of this. If you want income, you need to focus. If you want to accomplish things, you need to complete things. You can't keep adding and taking them on. And even if it sounds like it'll be something easy, simple, no big deal, that's not the point. It doesn't matter how easy it is. Just stop doing it. Just say, this is when my day ends, and this is what I can accomplish in this day. And that's all you do. And don't feel guilty because you're not doing everything everybody else does. I'm not good at being social like other people are. I'm not super fast. I'm smart. I'm able to figure things out, but I'm not as fast as most people. And so maybe I can't do as many things as somebody else can do in a day, but who cares? If at the end of the day, my house is picked up, I feel comfortable and I can sit down and relax and watch my shows that I want to watch. And picking up my house is not the only thing I do all day. I'm contrasting that to the fact that my dining room table is covered in the outlines of 5 books right now. And we haven't been able to use the dining room table in almost 4 weeks at this point. So that's what I'm saying. So if my dining room table is picked up and at the end of the day, I can walk through and I'm like, my house is not cluttered, that makes me feel good. Yay, great. Now, every once in a while when there's stuff piled up on the table, that's fine. But if it's becoming a way of life, Tiff, you're doing too much. And maybe you're looking at yourself and maybe you're hearing something relatable. I hope you are. And I hope you got something out of what I said. Calm yourself down. Finish one thing, then finish the next. Don't take on anything else until you finish that. And then take a break after you finish that. Yes, I know. I had 6 teenage kids at home, so don't tell me, well, I got kids. You can even do it there. You can. Don't tell me you can't. Show me how you can. My kids hate it when I say that. And that's what I've said to myself. I'm telling you what I've said to myself this week, and I really hope you got something out of this, and I really hope it'll make you shift and look at, as you're successful and you have more opportunities and more finances and more extra time, you're just going to become more of what you already are. Are you someone who develops themselves, read books, lives a life of balance, or are you somebody that's running around crazy, trying to get more things done than 5 people could accomplish in a week? Hold up a mirror and then don't feel bad about it because we all fail sometimes. Just try to fail forward. I'll see you next week.